So, uh, hello everybody, and welcome to Stress on the Rise. It's a little PowerPoint presentation that I put together. My name is Carl Golden. I'm a licensed mental health counselor here in the Seattle area. My office is actually in Kenmore, at the northern terminus of Lake Washington. Anyway, I thought I'd put together a little PowerPoint presentation to educate people on stress and stress reduction, because it's a big deal. So let's get going. So stress, what is it? Well, basically, it's a result of an imbalance in our body-mind. So let me talk about that body-mind. What I mean by that right at the get-go here. So there's our body, right, and part of our body is our brain, right? And the brain is talking with the body, and the body is talking with the brain, and there's this information that's going back and forth all the time. And so the body mind is always trying to regulate things, and the body mind likes to be in a kind of equilibrium, everything being balanced. And when imbalance occurs, and it's natural that it occurs, the body mind sends signals, and those signals say that I'm hungry, or that I'm thirsty, or that I'm tired, or whatever. And in a very fundamental way, this is actually stress. These are stress signals, right? So it's the body saying, hey, I'm a little stressed. I don't have enough food, right? Or I don't have enough water, or I don't have enough rest. I'm a little too tired, or I'm a little overly stimulated, right? I need to kind of calm down. So we're always, the body mind is always trying to shoot for that point of equilibrium. And stress is when that equilibrium is upset, right? That's when the imbalance occurs. So, stress is normal. However, too much stress for too long is not good for our health. It's not good for us physically, emotionally, even or mentally. And there are two kinds of stress. There's good stress and bad stress. Well, good stress is the normal imbalances that we experience physically, emotionally, or mentally. And it's basically our body, like I was saying, signifying that something is needed, such as we need food, water, safety, exercise, sex, love, friendship. Again, so good stress is normal. It's basically just our feedback. But bad stress is a result of trauma or a long-standing imbalance that erodes the body-mind's ability to cope. And this can lead to a wide host of physical, emotional, and mental issues, such as chronic heartburn, acid reflux, hypertension, strokes, heart attacks, so on and so forth. And it also affects us mentally, right, leading to depression, insomnia, anxiety, poor sexual performance, and a host of other illnesses, both physical and mental illnesses. So bad stress is something you need to pay attention to. So here are a list of the basic signals of bad stress, right? So you're having headaches, or you're forgetting more, or you're prone, like the frequency of cold or flus is occurring at a higher rate. Appetite changes, anxiety, alcohol, irritability, disorganization, heartburn, so on and so forth. And again, back to like the cold sores. So one of the things to understand, when we are overly stressed for too long a period, then it affects our immune system. Our immune system begins to get reduced. Its ability to respond is reduced. And this is why we start experiencing more colds, or more flus, or cold sores. This is why these things begin to occur with greater frequency. It's because our immune system is getting overtaxed, and we need to pay attention to that. And chronic stress is bad. You need to pay attention to the signs. It's been estimated that 75 to 90% of all visits to primary care physicians are for stress-related problems. So Bad stress is bad. Don't ignore it. And there are 5 big stressors that are generally agreed upon, and that is the death of a loved one, divorce, moving. You're moving out of one house, moving to another, you're selling your place, or you've lost your place and you have to find another place to move, major illness, and loss of a job. So when these big 5 show up, any one of them, or especially when a combination of them shows up, then take extra good care of yourself and those who you love, because this kind of stress can create serious issues, not just physically but mentally. You can lead to a nervous breakdown, and which can then end up leading to other issues, and the whole thing can cascade, and what was just a move now become a major life catastrophe. So why is there so much stress? Basically because we're a highly industrialized and technical civilization, chronic stress is now kind of built in. So the stress that we're experiencing as a modern civilization is arising from a host of things. Things as mundane as traffic, fights with customers, dealing with coworkers or difficult family members, being overworked and underpaid, the breakdown of the family relations due to high rates of divorce, single-parent families, a whole wide host of things in that regard, as well as issues such as poor diets and lifestyles that do little to mitigate the impact of stress. The big picture is that it is cultural and socioeconomic, but we can't just wait for the culture and the economy to change. We can actually start reducing the stress in our lives now, and each of us can make a difference by changing our habits and our lifestyles. We need to eat better. We need to exercise. This doesn't necessarily require a lot of money. I mean, it's not like you have to go pay for a membership in a gym. Exercise, you can walk right outside of your door. Walk 2 miles. And that would be sufficient exercise in a given day to reduce stress. Changing your eating habits, eating more vegetables. Vegetables aren't expensive. Rice and vegetables. Obviously you want meat and stuff like that, but rice is inexpensive. Vegetables are inexpensive. And these are kinds of food that support that support the body's immune system and its ability to deal with stress. So these things don't have to wait until you get a better paying job. These are things that are simply just waiting for you to make a decision. So let's make that decision. Let's reverse the trend, right? So how do we do this? Well, there's the physical stress reducers. Right? So we exercise to provide an outlet for negative emotions and anger and irritability. Our body produces and releases endorphins when we work out, which have been shown to be pain-relieving and mood-elevating chemicals. We also remove yourself from stressful situations. If you're in a relationship that is extremely stressful, obviously it could be a marriage. I mean, removing yourself from a marriage can be a little more challenging. But, if you are in a relationship that is extremely stressful and you can't seem to do anything about it, then you're going to have to look at setting up some kind of a boundary, perhaps even removing yourself, a separation, and it may even require a divorce. But the bottom line is, if the relationship is overwhelming you and you're stressed out, it's not doing you any good, and you're not going to really be able to do much good for anybody else. Also, things like get a massage, practice yoga, dance, and practice deep breathing and mindful relaxation, such as meditation. Mental stress reducers. One thing is learn to say no to things you know that are not good for you, right? The power of no. It can change your life. Understand and accept that you can't control everything, right? So we just have to get a sense of what's within our ability and what's not. Learn the difference and accept it, and live within what we know. We have the power to affect good change in our life. Keep your self-criticisms in check. Don't get down on yourself, right? Self-judgment doesn't serve anybody. Um, plan out your time appropriately. Talk to someone about any problems you may be having, right? See a counselor, or talk with a friend or a coworker, or a parent who's actually willing to listen, right? This is what's critical. Is we need people who are willing to listen in our lives. Um, Ask yourself if this current situation will matter in 5 years. If not, then stress less, right? Any kind of current situation that you might be giving a little too much um, importance to, right? Kind of check in. Is this really important? Is this going to matter in 5 years? And if it isn't, don't make such a big deal about it. Listen to your favorite music. Laugh a lot. Okay. The 7 Ps. So one of the most dependable ways to increase stress in our lives is to be ill-prepared to meet life's responsibilities, whether as a student, on the job, on the road, or at home, right? So remember, proper preparation and planning prevents piss-poor performance, okay? And another favorite of mine is haste makes waste, which is just kind of the opposite. So the fact is, when we properly plan our lives, it's not that we're going to be able to prepare for every event that occurs, but if we have a game plan and we have a sense of what might be coming, right, what's reasonable to expect, then we're better prepared, and our performance is going to be better, and we're going to feel more self-confident. And this, in turn, will give rise to a better self-esteem. And with better self-esteem, we have less stress. We believe in our ability to deal with our lives, right? And of course, haste does make waste. When we are rushing through things, when we become impatient, when we are hurrying. One of my favorite expressions, hurry up and wait, right? I mean, we think we're going to speed a little bit more. We're going to shave those few minutes, and inevitably we forget something, or we get pulled over and we get a ticket, and then we're waiting longer than we had expected. So slow down. Take the time to prepare and plan for what's coming ahead, and you're going to have a lot. There's going to be more sense of ease in your life, right? Take the time to do things right. And so laughter is so important. I'm sure you've all experienced the cleansing feeling after a good laugh, and you just feel just a sense of release, and that sense of release comes with a lot of good chemistry, right? One is we get a reduction in the stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, and we get an increase in the endorphins. These are the really yummy neurotransmitters that just make us feel great. And so laughter is fantastic, and it's been proven to not only help with mental health, but also to help with physical health. And best of all, laughter connects us to other people, and social support is one of the best ways to reduce stress. When you feel connected, and you feel connected with people who love you, and with whom you can really relax and enjoy your life, and this is one of the best things we can do for ourselves. Other things are to work with mantras. Mantras are like little thought seeds, and we work with them, we repeat them on a daily basis, and that daily repetition is like, it's like we place a seed in the ground, and that daily repetition is like the watering of the seed, right? Uh, the thought seed takes roots and it begins to grow, and um, and we begin to benefit from that growth. So breathe in peace, breathe out stress. This is one mantra that is fairly popular. One of my favorites is, "This too will pass," right? So not getting really hung up with catastrophizing any issue that really isn't um, necessarily a catastrophe, or um, something that we've given way too much importance to, right? And we just kind of learn to get a sense of humor about it, that this too will pass, a sense of patience, um, and a larger vision for what life really is, right? Rather than getting hung up with with a particular detail that isn't working out the way we would like it to. Believing in yourself, right? I believe in me and can get through this. Or to simplify this, can just say, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can. That's one of my favorite actual thought seeds is, yes, I can. And for those of us who deal with poor willpower when it comes to eating habits, a friend of mine shared with me another one that's a favorite, and that is, a moment on the lips, forever on the hips. And I'll just kind of use that, even though I'm more concerned about my belly than I am my hips, but it works. I just am in a shopping aisle and I want to do that spontaneous little, impulse purchase of a chocolate bar or something like that, and I just remember this, right? A moment on the lips, forever on the hips, and it works, does the trick. So feel free to come up with your own mantra, play with them, find something that works for you, and keep it short. That's one of the keys. So, all the advice in the world isn't worth a cent if you don't apply it. So just do it. If it makes sense, do it. Resistance to change is one of the big sources of stress. And, and even though it's important to learn how to say no, it's even more important to know when to say yes. And to back up that yes with action, with a commitment. That's really critical. So if you like this and you would like more information, then give me a call, or come see me. I am accepting clients, and I'd love to work with you. So I'm offering a free 30-minute session to discuss the best way to reduce stress in your life. And so if you want to take advantage of that 30-minute session, just give me a call. We'll arrange a time to we'll schedule a time to meet. Okay then, you all take care. Bye bye.